Good morning and thanks for choosing Fox 10 News on this Saturday morning. I am Gianni Navarro. Today is February 13th. Happy Valentine's Day Eve. Let's take a quick check with Matt Barentine on our weather tomorrow. Matt, are people going to have to move their Valentine's Day plans inside tomorrow?
Yeah, it's going to be kind of cool tomorrow. It's going to be even more cold though today. So in fact, we're going to have several days of very cold weather. So get ready for that. Right now, what do we have? Well, we got temperatures that are down in the 30s. So we are chilly here to start off with. 38 in Mobile right now, 39 in Monroeville, 45 in Pace, 41 in Fairhope. And it's a bit breezy on top of this, so it makes it feel about 5 to 6 degrees colder than what that actually shows. Radar's been a few showers, but here's the good news I have for you today. I've just dropped the rain chances off because we've basically gotten through most of the rain already. We had some overnight showers. Now what's left over is pushing to the east. So yeah, there's going to be a few sprinkles, particularly southern Baldwin County, going over into the Panhandle before all this moves on out. So a few areas will get some rain, but for the rest of us, we're likely pretty much done with any significant rain. We're just going to be looking at clouds the rest of the day. So that is really good news. We had high rain chances up for today. The rain decided to move through fairly early. By the time everybody's getting up, most of us are already done with it. So that is the great news. See that here on the Futurecast. It will stay cloudy though throughout the day. In fact, many areas will not get out of the 40s here for afternoon highs. And with that breeze going, it is going to feel awfully chilly all day long. So looks kind of rough, but boy, folks, compared to what a lot of the country's going through, we're doing a whole lot better. Memphis may not see their temperature get above freezing until next Friday. So that's how cold some areas are. That's really not all that far away, right? So, we'll take this. Not too bad. We'll look at more temperatures for your, of course, tomorrow, Valentine's Day, and we'll check out your Fat Tuesday forecast coming up in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Matt. Well, in the news this morning, just hours after a man was shot in the parking lot at the shops at Bellaire, a couple caught in the middle of the gunfire. Talking to Fox 10 News about the horrifying moment, bullets flew right past them. Alan and Hannah Alukic only making it a couple of steps outside of the mall, caught in the middle of a shooting. A hail of gunfire darting in their direction. They say a man standing in the parking lot shot and taken to University Hospital. Before emergency crews got there, Mobile police arriving at the hospital just minutes later.
It hit the wall next to us for sure. So it was very for a bullet to come by and you hear it, that's close.
We're told the victim is expected to survive. In the meantime, MPD is not releasing any description of the suspect or the possible getaway car. Well, another shooting happening last night and one in Saraland. A man shot in his front yard on Forest Avenue. This happened around 7:45 p.m. Now we're told the victim was shot in the leg. A neighbor describes hearing the gunshots.
It sounded like 7 or 8, maybe 10, I'm not really sure. And when I heard him, I walked around the front of the house really quick and saw a smaller car fly past the house, probably had to be close to 80, 90 miles an hour.
Now the victim was taken to University Hospital. Police believe the victim knows the person who shot him. No arrests have been made yet. Well, the CDC releasing recommendations on how to get students back into the classrooms. Fox News White House correspondent Peter Ducey takes a look.
Equally consequential is the need to help the states economically in terms of everything from unemployment to being able to make sure that they're able to get kids back in school.
To go back, teachers don't need to be vaccinated against COVID-19, according to new guidance from the CDC.
We believe, and the science has demonstrated, that schools can be reopened safely prior to all teachers being vaccinated.
The CDC suggests teachers should still be prioritized for vaccines. The districts should be broken up into 4 zones: blue in communities with low transmission, red where there's high transmission, and students should social distance at least 6 feet in PPE.
CDC recommends that schools can provide full in-person instruction with universal use of masks and other mitigation strategies.
So far, the White House hasn't promised to follow these new guidelines to a T.
The CDC guidelines are going to be the guide through which we work with our policy teams.
The Democrats drawing up a COVID-19 relief bill on Capitol Hill still want it to include a $15 per hour minimum wage, even though Senators Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, both Democrats, aren't supportive of that.
Are you concerned that 2 Democrats already have opposed the $15 minimum
I'm feeling
wage?
pretty good that we're going to win.
As part of a White House push to send state and local governments $350 billion in COVID relief, one of the leaders President Biden hosted today is taking heat back home for allegedly undercounting COVID deaths in nursing homes. New York Governor Andrew Cuomo.
Well, the president hosted Governor Cuomo and a bipartisan group of governors and mayors to the White House today to get their perspective from the front lines, not to give anyone a stamp of approval or to seek their stamp of approval, and to discuss the urgency of passing the American Rescue Plan.
But throughout the pandemic, Cuomo has had a fan in Biden.
New York Governor Andrew Cuomo's briefings are a lesson in leadership.
President Biden still wants the Senate to lead on impeachment.
I'm just anxious to see what my Republican friends do, if they stand up.
And as the first family inspected Valentine's Day decorations, President Biden did something rare in this pandemic, shared a drink with a reporter.
I'll bring the donuts next Friday if you come back.
Okay. I tell you what, I apologize. Here, I didn't have a taste. I didn't even have a taste. Here, come on. I promise you.
I'm going to get in trouble. I don't have my mask.
I give you my word. I didn't have anything.
Well, thank you.
This evening, Marine One lifted off to take President Biden to Camp David for the weekend. All he said was, have a good Valentine's Day. And that's been the theme of the day because the First Lady laid these hearts out on the lawn. She said she wanted to bring people a little bit of joy. Biden joked he thought the press might think the hearts are for them. At the White House, Peter Ducey, Fox News.
Well, for the first time, we're getting a look at who's been vaccinated in Alabama. The Alabama Department of Public Health releasing demographic information like age, gender, and race of those who've gotten a COVID shot in Alabama. Doctors say it shows African Americans seem to be hesitant to get vaccinated. Officials say while African Americans are getting the vaccine, they're not getting vaccinated in proportion to their population in the state. Doctors believe a lot of the hesitancy to get the shot in minority communities stems from the Tuskegee experiment, but other barriers may also be to blame, like transportation issues and computer access.
We're having a lot to combat to get people vaccinated in the African American community that I don't think will resolve in a couple months. That continued conversations need to happen.
Health officials have been working to overcome the challenge, like recruiting pastors to get vaccinated to show the shot is safe. The Alabama vaccine report shows most of the shots have gone to women, Caucasians, and those between the ages of 16 and 64. In an effort to reach high-risk and underserved communities, the Alabama Department of Public Health is asking for ideas to expand access. Now, the data the state health department released isn't complete. Nearly 30% of those who've gotten a shot didn't have their race reported. Now, we have a link to the full report on our website, fox10tv.com. And the Alabama Department of Public Health holding mass vaccinations for those in eligible groups. Those groups are healthcare workers, first responders, and frontline workers. Sorry, we're having technical issues. Frontline essential workers. Public transit frontline workers include corrections officers, food and agriculture workers, U.S. Postal Service workers, grocery store workers, educators, and public transit workers. Now, see the full list on our website at fox10tv.com. Now, that vaccination is happening today at the Mobile Civic Center, beginning at 8 this morning. Now, this is a live look at the vaccination appointment. Spring Hill Medical Center telling us they continue to vaccinate 500 to 550 people a day and will do so as long as supplies last. Now, the CEO says the state so far has filed the hospital's vaccine orders and hasn't indicated whether those won't happen in the future. Now, the Mobile area also has 10 Walmart stores administering the vaccine. It's part of a federal allotment, which is separate from what the state and county have been giving out. The vaccines are only for those eligible under the second wave. We're talking about people over 65, healthcare workers, and first responders. Now, we have a link on our website, fox10tv.com, for you to schedule your appointment and check availability.